Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Zankichi and I have finally recovered from playing Forspoken. You see how I can say the name without retching in disgust? To aid in my recovery, I played a good magic-based video game called Hogwarts Legacy, and yes, I know I'm a bit late to the party, but the damage was way too deep. Anyways, Hogwarts Legacy is a game that takes place in the wizarding world of Harry Potter, a series of children's novels written by J.K. Rowling. But most if not all of you already know this, since Harry Potter has gone on to be featured in movies, video games, and even a theme park attraction. But here's something that you don't know. I'm not a Harry Potter fan. No, don't click away. I just said I am not a fan of the series. However, the concept of the world is interesting, and although I barely remember the movies, I did find the story interesting. This is a good thing though. You're gonna hear an honest opinion from an outsider looking into this marvelous world and see if the hype is real. For the game though, not for the whole series. That's a whole different thing. And before we begin, I know that the game has some controversies in it. And let me clarify, I play video games just to have fun and to talk about video games. Yeah, sure, talking about video games does include having some controversies in between, but the controversy in question is more social related rather than video game related. And that's not within my niche, and therefore, I will not talk about it, and therefore, I do not care for it. So, with that said, let's begin, shall we? The game starts the way every Harry Potter fan wishes their fated day to begin, by receiving an acceptance letter from Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. You see? I'm not a muggle, Dad! I'm a wizard! Then, character creation. Oh yeah, time to dive into the game and become a wizard. So from this point onward, this is going to become a narrative. Alright, so the story begins with Eleazar Fig, a professor at Hogwarts, and me getting ready to fly to school, while accompanied by George Osric, a high-ranking official of the Ministry of Magic. On our way to Hogwarts, Professor Fig and Mr. Osric were discussing an article regarding Ranrock, a goblin who threatens the wizarding world with a rebellion, and an item left by the professor's late wife. I noticed that it has a strange glow to it, but the others cannot see it. The professor hands me the item, and it opens, revealing what looks like a key. Suddenly, we are surprised by a dragon attack and Mr. Osric was taken by its horrible maw. Professor Fig and I make our escape with a key, transporting us to an unknown location in the Scottish Highlands. The professor explains that the key turned out to be a port key, which took us to these ruins for a reason. As we investigated, I noticed an enchanted stone wall with a strange glow like the item that held the port key. As I touched it, we were instantly transported to Gringotts Wizarding Bank, as told to us by the goblin receptionist. The goblin, knowing the reason why we were here, guided us through a specific vault that opens with a port key. We then delve deep into the vault to uncover its secrets, face off against stone guardians, and eventually find a pensieve in a small bottle containing the memory of an old wizard who could see the same glow that I can, which turns out to be traces of ancient magic, as Professor Fig explains. After this revelation, Ranrock breaks into the vault, demanding we give him what was here, but a giant guardian appeared, giving us enough time to escape to the outskirts of Hogwarts. We arrived late for the sorting ceremony and were scolded by Headmaster Phineas Black. I then got sorted to a house, yes indeed I am Gryffindor, was shown to the common room by Professor Matilda Weasley, introduced myself to some of my housemates, attended classes, met other classmates, and then made my way to Hogsmeade to pick up a few supplies, get a proper wand for me, fend off a rampaging troll, find out that Ranrock is following me, and drink some butterbeer. Good times. And that's where I won't reveal any further. I gotta say, the story does get interesting the more I progress, and best part about this is that it happens within the first 10% of the game. Certainly does more than a certain game I played previously, but I'm not here to compare apples with crappy lemons, so let's just move on, shall we? From what I've played so far, the story carried itself on with a good pace that kept me intrigued the longer I played. This is something that I appreciate greatly, and I applaud whoever wrote this story to go with a tried and true method of telling a story. It's not to say that this is the definitive way of telling a story, but it does the job of showcasing the setting, the characters, and the story with a pace that is fast enough to keep the story moving while making it easy enough to understand and follow along. The story also features the chosen one trope. Whether by fate, birthright, or even chance, your character is the one spoken of in prophecy, the one-of-a-kind person capable of something not everyone else can do, and the other stuff. This trope, albeit cliché, is a welcome theme in the story as it gives importance to the player's created character and provides a deeper level of immersion to the story. You are the one who wields the ancient magic. You can see and do things other wizards and witches can't, and your choices will shape the wizarding world. And you know what? I'm cool with that. That makes me feel special and unique, just like that ripe apple that is low enough for you to pick it. Its color and shape are very enticing to the eye. Its juicy interior capable of quenching the driest of throats, and the fruit delivering a most satisfying crunch. Sorry, I'm getting off track. Lastly, the world building in this game is so good that no effort was needed to be put on it. The world itself is home to a magical history that entranced me, and the characters that inhabit it have their own stories to tell too, so I was eager to see how all of it unfolded. This I like tremendously, as world building tends to develop a bit slowly in video games. But then again, this is taking an already existing world that is already fleshed out and making a story in it, so little effort was put into that aspect to focus more on the main story. In short, the story is engaging and immersive, while the world and the characters do enough to keep you occupied. Now that I say staying occupied, the gameplay in Hogwarts Legacy offers plenty to do in it. In addition to completing the main story, there are many side quests available to do in the game. Whether they be class assignments by the teachers, favors from fellow schoolmates, or even requests from the people outside of Hogwarts, the game offers many opportunities to explore the world, fight creatures or dark wizards, and complete many puzzles. Completing these tasks will grant you experience along with equipment, gold, new spells, or ingredients for potions. Experience will go towards level progression, where you can then earn talent points that are used to increase your overall potency of spells, hone your skills with the ancient magic, increase your carrying capacity, be better at stealth, or even add curse effects to your spells and abilities. Equipment is standard fare. The higher the grade of the equipment, the better it is, but it also has the addition of wearing cosmetic equipment to mix and match to your liking. Now here's an important question that someone will probably ask.
Zankichi, what about the combat in this game? Is it better than for space?
Yes, it is! Oh, I'm sorry, I got excited there, but yes, the combat in this game is very fluid, fast-paced, and responsive. Basic attacks, or casts, can be followed by many of your spells and charms at your disposal, such as Accio, Levioso, and Incendio, to create long strings of combos that can deal large amounts of damage to enemies, and it all looks very stylish in a wizard sort of way. You can also defend yourself with the defense spell Pertego, and if done at the right time, you can counterattack with Stupefy, which stuns enemies for a while. Ancient magic is also accessible to you. If you build up the ancient magic gauge, you can use it to deal significant damage to a target, or even dispose of them in one fell swoop. Additionally, you can use combat items that you can craft at Hogwarts to assist you in battle, such as potions to heal you or to increase your stats temporarily, and you can also grow and harvest your own ingredients, including the dreaded jumping cabbages. You see that, Frey? That's how you do magic. That's how you do gameplay, and that's how you do combat. Gameplay is great, that's what I'm trying to say. The last thing I want to talk about is graphics and sound. Real quick, the sound of this game are on point. The music is fitting to the setting and story, sound effects bring literal magic to the world, and the voice acting is great, so no complaints. My worries though are in the graphics. Let me clarify that these look so good even in the low graphic settings, but man, I had some issues. First, I played the PC version, and despite having the recommended settings, the game would take time to load up textures. It was weird because the game would be running just fine until textures would revert to looking like blobs of clay sporadically, and that kind of ruins the aesthetic of the game. On that same line, my second concern is with character models. Most character models look fine, but there are a few who need some more work, specifically the ones for the students. Third, the game would take a long while for it to load at startup. That worried me because every time I would launch the game, I could hear the music, but the title screen wouldn't show up until a couple of minutes later. Lastly, the frame rate. I don't know if the console versions went through this too, but my game would suffer some drops in frame rate at certain cutscenes or even in combat. It does go back to its intended frame rate, and I believe that the issue has been addressed, but I hope that this and the previous points I mentioned don't make their way to the releases of PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. And that's all I have to say about Hogwarts Legacy. I certainly had a lot of fun with it, and it was definitely that magic-centric video game that I wanted to play. Again, I'm not a fan of the Harry Potter series, however I can appreciate the attention to detail given to the novel's world in the game, and now I see why fans love it so much. With that note, my honest opinion of Hogwarts Legacy is worth it. The story and gameplay got me hooked on the first hour of playing, although I regret getting it on PC rather than consoles. I think I would have experienced less gripes with it graphics-wise. There's plenty more to the game as it is to experience, however, I would rather let you play them and experience them yourself and have fun with it. And with this, I am done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you for being patient with me while I got myself a new microphone. We are progressing and we are moving forward, so that's a good thing. So we're good. So please subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Feel free to do so at any time. And also, please share and like the videos, and if you have anything to say about the game or my opinion on it, the comment section down below is the place to be for you to express yourself, but please do keep it civil. Please, I would appreciate that greatly. So again, thank you so much, stay safe, and have a good day. Oh my god, this is a stupid bit. You know what? Gala apples are the best ones. Fight me on this one. No question. Gala apples are the best.